Disclaimer. This content is created based on my unprofessional opinion and analysis of related topics just for social communication purposes, to expand our mutual domain of views by discussing and analyzing the matters. The source of information and evidence for this content is social media, which contains facts, rumors, hearsay, and some other fragments that there is no proof for their authenticity or accuracy. So, please pay special attention. There is no claim on the reliability and confirmation of the conclusions presented here.
Hey everyone, welcome to the video. I have created this content as a quick reaction to the very recent challenges over the change of venue. This is a very crucial moment for the victims' families, not only to show the world that they only want the truth and justice to be served for their loved ones, but also they respect justice for justice itself as well. In my opinion, it is the most critical situation that Mr. Goncalves, on behalf of the other two families, make a proper reaction and show they don't want only a random person to pay for the crime that another person has done. Not only it is not justice, but also the real murderers never become arrested, and the truth never comes out if this trial is held unfairly. Steve Goncalves had nipped the plan in the bud once before when the prosecutor wanted to take advantage of the situation in which the defense team wanted cameras banned in the courtroom, and the prosecutors surprisingly showed their agreement with them. However, their real intention was to wrap up the case behind closed doors. But Steve's reaction to their agenda didn't let them succeed. The victims' families should pay attention that finding and arresting the murderers is not the defense team's job, and they have to be concerned about their client. But if the victims' families want their children's perpetrators to be identified and punished for their savage crime, first it should be clear who is not the killer. Then focus on finding who the killer is. Otherwise, this case will be closed without the real killers being found and identified. The matter that the trial being held where the defendant could have a fair trial isn't in opposition to the victim's justice and doesn't violate any of their rights. But if the defendant can't receive a fair trial, no doubt they will be the loser too. And by time passing, when the shadows of doubt cast on the case and the trial's result, the victims' families will find themselves victims too. The worst is when many of these individuals, who are playing the game of being more Catholic than the Pope, start to blame the victims' families through social media, and especially the mainstream media, after this. Whatever they have told about Brian's eyes, weird behaviors, his past, and being a monster, being anti-women, or whatever labeled him all the time, they will say about the victims' families from then on. I remember once I told Christy not to believe the eyes that shed tears out to show their sympathy. Believe those who genuinely care about justice, regardless of who is the justice for. In the end, I want to remind the point again that Mr. Goncalves reacted to the state's agenda once in the past, and he can do it again. If he, as the victim's parent, has any constitutional right to have a voice. In this regard, it's a proper time to use it. I think if he, as the father of a victim, and on behalf of the other ones, points out their priority is a fair trial to be held, and not the place of the trial, it can have a strong influence on closing the mob's mouths, who are supposed to act in favor of agenda under the mask of victims' fans. I hope the victims' families don't give them the chance.